Happy New Year. I hope you all are doing fantastic and started the new year off great. And I haven't been on here in a while, and I apologize. I came on, I guess, maybe once in November, not at all in December. As most of you know, I had a grandbaby back in November. And between that and Christmas and all kinds of other wonderful things life inserted into my life, it's put this off. But it's not that I haven't thought about you and things haven't come to my mind that we need to talk about or I felt like I needed to share. It's just life, and there's a reason, and it's okay. And so I hope you all are wonderful, and thank you for joining me again. So today there were a few things I felt like we need to talk about regarding our health, probably because we're in winter and, you know, just seasonal things are happening. Dead leaves, dead grass, cold one day and it's 80 degrees the next. And, you know, we're just having all those different factors in our barometric pressure and our weather changes and all kinds of fun stuff. And then on top of that, you know, we throw in a few viruses here and there. So first thing I wanted to talk to you about is something that I did not come up with this myself. I've been doing this for about 8 to 10 years. It's a kind of a form of lymphatic massage, but obviously we have lymph nodes all through our body, and this is just up here in our head. So I don't know what it's really called. I always call it a lymphatic massage for your sinuses, but I don't know that that's what it's called. You may be able to find something similar somewhere. When I found it, I started doing it, then I tweaked one of the techniques, which I'll tell you as we do it. But I thought I would share it because sometimes this can break up a lot of, like if you've got a clogged sinus or, you know, something that's causing you a lot of pain, it can cause it to drain. It's really nice. I love doing it. Sometimes I'll do it in the shower where the water can be a little bit hotter. I may even put a hot compress on my sinuses if they're hurting. And I'll work through the whole massage with my hot fingertips in the shower, and it's kind of nice. But I had shown a friend of Erica's back when she was in high school, and she came back to me, I guess it was a couple weeks after, and she said, that is one of my favorite things to do. Thank you so much for showing me. It's wonderful. So I hope it's just as wonderful for you. And you know, if for some reason it concerns you that you think that it might not be right for you or something you don't need to do and you want to talk to your doctor about it, obviously you can always talk to your doctor about anything and everything. But this is just something I wanted to share that I do. You don't have to do. I don't know if it'll help you or not, but I like it. So first thing we're going to do, you don't have to have another person, you do this all by yourself, is you're going to take this right here like somebody's giving you a massage on your neck right here and just work in that muscle area. Okay, right at the base of our neck and shoulders. That actually feels really nice. You can do it for as long as you want to, as deliberate as you want to. It's up to you. And then you're going to go up that indention in your neck. Okay, you know, there's that little indention space right here, and then you go to this place at the bottom of your skull that's indented on both sides. So we're going to work our way up to there, and then we're going to be in those dents right at our skull. And sometimes these may even be tender, and it might feel really good. You do for a while. Just kind of work around in all that little area, even on the sides, kind of under your ear here, just all in that area. Then after you work through that spot, the next thing they taught in the video I did years ago was to go under your neck like this, under your jaw, from your ear on down, okay? I actually divide my fingers up and I go in front of my ear and under my jaw. And the reason I do that, so I take this finger behind my ear and the others in front, and I come down my jawline, is because I still want to do the jawline thing, but I always have issues with my ear area. So that always feels kind of nice. So I just go ahead and I rub down the front of my ear, and while at the same time I'm going under my ear and down my jaw. So you can see that. And I can feel it. It's like, oh, how nice. You know, you'll feel different little pressure points. And then the next place we're gonna do is here, your cheeks, right out from your nose. You can either do it this way or you can bring it like this, but you'll feel some of these like little indentions, you know, just pressure points. So work that one. And the next one's your eyebrows. And you can feel all those little places even in your eyebrows. But you can just bring it over like this and down. And we always work down and up. So if there's any kind of clogged area in here, you're not just dumping in it to stop. So let's start here and make everything open as we go up. And so that's something I wanted to share. And I love it. It can break free a lot of mucus if you got it in your sinuses and that kind of thing. The next thing I wanted to mention was hydration. I know we talked about this before, and I know in the summertime we think about it because we're sweating, we're hot, and we think, oh, we gotta keep ourselves hydrated. Well, we gotta do it in the winter, y'all. Oh my gosh. And I even know someone close to me that dehydrated recently, looked green, khaki color, felt sick, low blood pressure, you know, all those kinds of things they felt because they were dehydrated. And I've been there before. I've had the low blood pressure. When I was younger, I actually dehydrated to the point of the dry heaves and the diarrhea and all that, where you just get really, really sick. And it's hard to bounce back, and it's a horrible feeling. So in the winter, we think, oh, I'm not hot, or I'm not overexerted, or whatever, and we don't drink as much sometimes. So you've got to make yourself. If you have to fill up jars at the beginning of the day and put them in your vehicle and say, okay, I got to drink these jars today, if that's how you have to do it, or whatever it is, don't guzzle. You know, if you are someone that cannot discipline yourself to drink slowly so that your body has time to absorb, then drink from a straw. I mean, that's the best I can tell you. But you just want to stay hydrated. I'd say at least 64 ounces a day. Obviously, if you can drink more, drink more. That was always kind of our rule. When my family was sick, I have some that don't like to drink anything. And so I would say, well, at least drink 64 ounces. And if you'll do that, then I feel like you're at least hydrating your body. And I will say this too, I do believe that when we are hydrated properly, let's say you do get a virus and you're sick, if you will hydrate properly, I feel like you get better quicker. I know it works. I believe it. And if you're sick and you can't just drink water, you do need to drink water. But, you know, drink on some bone broth of some kind. Beef bone broth, chicken bone broth, you know, something that might feel soothing to you, but also hydrating you. And the next thing is hand washing. And, you know, I know during COVID scare, pandemic, several years ago, we all got into hand washing. You know, everybody was all about hand washing. And it is so important that we continue to carry that on. And I'm not talking about antibacterial stuff that's ripping out the good bacteria. Just use some plain old good soap, whatever you got, you know. So washing your hands, and obviously when I go into places like the grocery store or church or something like that, I do use hand sanitizer when I get to the car, just to hold me off till I get home, so that just in case I scratch my nose or touch my mouth or my eyes or whatever, that hopefully I'm protected. And when I get home, then I do a good hand washing. So hand washing is so important, and I know sometimes we get lax with it, but I really do believe it'll cut down on a lot of our spreading viruses and those nasty germs. And let's see. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about is sleep. And you know, people are always saying, oh, sleep is so important. Yes. If you don't have adequate sleep, it is really hard for your body to stay well. And you know, I know there's a lot of different factors we could go into, exercise and how well we eat, and those things are important too. And you know, they do contribute, but today I wanted to mention sleep. And I know people that say, well, you know, I have so much trouble with insomnia, and I don't know what the answer is for you, and maybe it's something, you know, you should get seen about and find out why you're having this problem. But I do know some things that have worked when I've not been able to sleep before. Now, I actually go to sleep really well, and I'm out like a light until I have to get up my one time, sometime in the wee hours in the morning. But sleep, couple different things. You know, if you're the person that's laying there in the bed thinking about what all you got to do, put that notepad by your bed. And you may be someone that says, I don't write anymore. I put everything in my phone. Well, I really hate for you to be looking at your phone while you're trying to go to sleep. I just know that it's not good on our eyes. I know it's not good for our brain. Whatever the phone's putting off is not good. It needs to be away from you for 30 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep, and leave it there until the next day. I really wish you wouldn't even touch it first thing in the morning. I mean, turning off your alarm's one thing, but then leave it for a little while and wake up with the day without the phone. But whatever you have to do, you know, put that notepad by the bed, jot down whatever it is. Then the next day you can put it in your phone if that's what you got to do. But I know if I don't write it down, I'm going to work on it all night, or I'm going to worry about it until I get up and I can handle it. So I know writing things down is super, super important. Also, I was going to tell you Qigong. There's some different techniques that I've done, and one of them is called, it's something that they say that helps with insomnia. And it may be something you do 10 or 20 reps before you go to bed. And I'm going to show it to you real quick. And it's not hard, and you'll think, what in the world? You know, how can that help me? It can. So let me show you. So what we're going to do, our wrists are like this, like they're broken, okay? And I'm going to take them out in front of me. And as I come up, like with my broken wrist, you know, kind of like head length, I'm going to come all the way from my legs all the way up with these broken wrists. I'm going to breathe in. And when I come down, I'm going to breathe out. My legs are kind of shoulder length apart. And as I come down, I'm going to bend my knees, okay? So I'm breathing in. And I'm just dropping them softly, slowly. Okay, breathing in. Okay, my knees are bent. I'm breathing in, and I'm coming up with my broken wrists. See, they're broken, okay? And then I'm breathing out, and I'm coming slowly down, and I'm sinking. And then I'm coming back up, breathing in, and then I'm coming down with these broken wrists. Softly sinking, breathing in, broken wrists, very slowly, softly exhaling, coming down, okay? So let's try those. Broken wrists, coming up to about head length, coming back down. We're very loose, very slow, and breathing in. And like I said, you're going to bend softly in your knees, and then you're going to come back up. Okay, hopefully you could see that. I know it's good enough. I don't know. The other thing we've talked about before, but trying to go to sleep at night, is to pray. Now, y'all, we have so many things we can pray about right now. I mean, it might take you all night to get through your family, or all the Facebook requests for prayer, or our country, our leaders, your church, churches, the world, whatever it may be. Start praying, and if you have an earnest heart and you're sincere, you will pray until you're asleep. You will, because there's so much that we need to be praying about. And you may have to start with your own self, praying for your own self and things that you've got going on with you before you even make it anything else. But I know that helps get to sleep too. And then there was one more thing. I jotted notes because I actually was trying to do this and my brain went in about 50 places. Oh, hormones. You may not have an issue with hormones, but I know progesterone helps people sleep. And if your progesterone is low, that could be something that's contributing to you having trouble falling asleep at night. So you may want to get your hormones tested, or, you know, do something holistic to check it, whatever you want to do. And that may be another avenue. I mean, there could be many things, but I think many times with insomnia, I'm not saying always because I don't know and I'm not a doctor, but I think many times there are so many things going on in our head, our life, our heart, that we are too wound up, or we've worked too hard in our minds to fall asleep. And that's unfortunate because sleep is so important for good health. So these are things that are important for good health. Obviously, sleep, your hydration. We know that we all need some exercise for cardio and those kinds of things. But, you know, I thought the lymphatic massage would be good, the hydration, good hygiene, and sleep were important things to talk about today. And I want to say something else too. It really doesn't go along with this, but it just came to me. Let's be respectful of others. You know, sometimes I'll think, well, if I don't speak up, who's going to? Or if I don't do this, who's going to? And all that kind of stuff. But, you know, there are so many people in this world, and we all have different ideas. We think differently. Some of us have different political beliefs, or different religion or culture, or habits or opinions, whatever. We're all so different. But our goal should be to build up the kingdom of God. And if we are wanting to live like Jesus, then we should be respectful of others. He didn't go bad-mouthing people or killing people or harming people because they believed different than him, or they did something different than he did, or they were of a different religion or group or clan or whatever you want to call it. He loved them anyway, and that's how he wants us to live. He wants us to follow his commands. He wants us to live like him, to fight like him, to love like him, to be like him. And I just think in the world we live in right now, so many are disrespectful of other people because they don't believe like them or behave like them, or they're not from the same cut of the cloth or group, or, like I said, culture or religion or whatever it is. And we may not agree with them in every way, or like them, or believe like them, or whatever. And I'm not asking you to do that. And I'm not asking you to accept anyone bringing harm to your family. No. But I'm saying, let's be respectful of others. Let's work to live like Jesus. That's what it's about. You know, if we're living like Jesus, gosh, this world would be a whole lot better. So I wish you all a happy and healthy 2026, and I will see you next week. And I wish you all the best always. My love to you all. Bye-bye.